Ruth and Elizabeth. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Hey, how are you? Thank you so much for inviting us.
Hello, thank you.
I'm so excited to talk to you guys. We do not really know each other personally at all, though our businesses have worked together on weddings. So, to begin, can you introduce yourselves to the listeners, what you do, what the business is that you work for, and which areas you serve?
Good.
Okay, I'm Elizabeth, and
I'm Ruth.
And we work as the wedding and event team at Kati Mac Floral Designs. What is so special about our team and our shop here is that we're a nonprofit. So the whole mission and the whole reason why we do what we do is to employ, support, train people with intellectual disabilities. So about half of our employees here have Down syndrome. And
we have 13 employees, right?
Yeah, 13 foundation employees with predominantly with Down syndrome. And they are kind of essential to our functioning.
Well, they are the light. They are the light of the shop. To be honest. They are the light. Like they do all of the bucket processing. They dance. They do their exercises. Sometimes they cut flowers. I mean, they are all over the place, and it's absolutely adorable. Yeah. And we just absolutely love them.
It's chaotic and beautiful, and it's it is why we're really passionate about flowers. But then this layer in there with it is
there's purpose.
Gold.
I think that's like, it's like one thing doing flowers and making them beautiful, but then being able to support an organization like this takes it to a whole nother level. So I think, that's kind of what makes, it's special. So, but we are the wedding and event, designers, and we pretty much do everything from, the initial consultation to the proposal writings, to ordering the flowers, to writing the recipes, to setting up, to breaking down. Yeah, we do it all.
Amazing. Lots to do.
Yeah.
Awesome. How did each of you get into this business of floral design for weddings, but also specifically with Kati Mac?
I've been doing I grew up around flowers. So all my flowers have run through my family for, I think, generations and generations, usually in gardening and planting and Philadelphia flower shows and things like that. So I grew up around them, and I've always done weddings on the side with my mom. So I kind of grew up as a little side thing we would just do weddings. And then I eventually started doing them myself just from my home, and loved doing them so much. And I just kind of did them out of my house. And then several years ago, I went to school for at Westchester University for anthropology and philosophy. And right after I went to school there and graduated, I was like, I really want to work for a nonprofit. But I was thinking like nonprofit humanitarian aid work, something like that. And all of a sudden, like, a friend called me, like, we really need a designer at Kati Mac. We lost our lead designer. And I was like, I just graduated. I don't have a job. And I found out that it was not only a nonprofit, but it was also just like, and flowers. I'm like, this hits all of my notes. Yes, sign me up. So about 3 years ago, I came and joined Kati Mac as, their wedding designer. And very quickly into the process, I knew that I needed an assistant and help her right away. And so I was like, I told my boss, I'm like, I can't do this by myself. I need someone. And then we found Elizabeth almost right away. And it's been the best thing that ever happened to our shop, is getting her into the shop. Honestly, she brings so much joy and light and fun into it that I'm like, you complete us.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
I know, that is
so it's been awesome. Yeah. So that's kind of like, in a nutshell, that's kind of how I kind of came along to Kati Mac. So,
and I've been here about a year and a half now. I originally was a graphic designer, worked in New York City, and I started to take some floral design classes there. And I fell in love with it. And I was just doing that at night. And I thought, well, maybe one day, when I'm older or when I have a family, this will be something I could just do for fun. And then a few years ago, I have two boys. They're kind of in that, school age, but at school all day. So I didn't have to be home. and I found a part-time job working at a local florist. And they, even though I was still new, I felt like I had a lot of good background experience because I had taken those classes, but I was also, like Ruth, doing a little bit of stuff on my own. And I got a lot of really great experience, and I moved into their wedding consultant position. And I just needed a change. And so I happened to see the Kati Mac post, and I said to myself, if I leave this job, I think there's only like one other place that I would really consider. And it was Kati Mac because of the mission and the whole purpose behind it. And then I saw this Instagram post and I was like, I think that's a sign. And I showed up and I met Ruth, and I walked out of here like floating because I was like, this place is magical.
We knew right away. It was like, she was like just the perfect
It was immediate.
fit.
Yeah. So I've been here a year and a half, and it's the best.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. The two like amazing stories to get to where you are today. And I'm so happy that you like love what you're doing. That's so
Love
awesome.
it.
Oh yeah, no, it's like we put our heart and soul into everything. I mean, we're up at night thinking about it. That's how much. Not too much.
That's awesome.
That's
how you know.
She's not supposed to be working.
I show up on a regular day, just like, hey guys, what's happening? Because I can't
stay away.
I don't know.
She can't stay away.
That's beautiful. Oh my goodness. So you guys have said a couple times like the mission and the purpose of Kati Mac is awesome. Can you speak a little bit more about that?
Yeah. I mean, so about 2001, which was probably the worst time to actually take over a business. Our boss, Colleen.
2021.
2021? Did I say 2021?
I think you said 2001.
Okay, 2021. Sorry, 2021. Okay, sorry.
It's all right.
20 years off.
It's all right.
So 2021, Colleen Brennan, the owner, was, basically bought or took over or was gifted this. I'm not sure how it worked, but she was basically took over the flower shop. So this flower shop, Kati Mac, has been in existence for, I would say, like 20 years or something like that.
I can't remember.
It was for a long time, the original Kati Mac. And so it's changed hands a couple of times. And then Colleen her and her husband really wanted to start a shop in the Westchester borough. They weren't sure what that shop should be. And they somehow stumbled upon Kati Mac Floral Designs. And so like, okay, we'll take over a flower shop.
One thing to that point was they love the borough, but also their daughter has Down syndrome, and they wanted a place where she could walk, and she could walk to work because they live in the borough as well. So that whole thing was like, they wanted to buy a business in the borough. They wanted a place where Kati could, walk to work. Mm-hmm. And her name was Kati.
It just was.
Oh my gosh.
This is this was meant to be. And so, they kind of have invested in this. And,
so the current owner only has had the business for about 5 years and kind of has been building it slowly over that 5 years. And it's been, so that's kind of how it all, started. And I think it's Kati Mac Educational Foundation is the nonprofit that we are.
Yes. So it's Kati Mac Floral Designs. We have retail and we do wedding and events, but the nonprofit name is Kati Mac Education Foundation.
That's awesome. So it was Kati Mac to begin with, and then when the new owners purchased it, their daughter with Down syndrome, who now is she still working there?
So she's in high school still. So she's not working here yet, but she will be, and we all can't wait.
Because we're like chomping at the bit. We're like,
when is Kati coming to work here? Because she's the sweetest.
She comes in and she's like the mayor. Everyone just like gives her hugs and kisses, and you can't get enough of her. So she's such a doll.
That's amazing. Okay, so she'll eventually help as the namesake.
Exactly.
Help out with everything. That's awesome. Very cool. Okay, so shifting to floral design for weddings, what does that look like on your end? Say like a bride comes to you, they're like, I'm getting married in a year. These are like the type of florals I want. How do I work with you guys? What does it look like on your end to work with couples planning their weddings?
Do you want to start on that?
Sure. Well, first we would just, if someone was interested, to fill out an inquiry form so that we can set up a time to talk. we would have a consultation with the bride or the couple or whomever.
The grandmom, the mom.
The grandma, I know.
Sometimes I've had whole families come in.
Yeah.
I'm like, more the merrier. I absolutely love it. We love in-person consultations the most, just because I just like that human connect. And this is kind of, we're missing that a lot. And so we always try to get people to come in the shop and actually see our shop, because it's adorable once you get in here. So
small.
Oh, very, very small.
But adorable. And so you would get a free consultation, and then actually we would put together a proposal, and you're not locked into anything. It's just kind of a, here's what we discussed, here's your pricing, and hopefully we did have a good connection, and it was something that felt like a nice mutual understanding. And then they would sign the contract, and we'd book that date with them. I mean, that's kind of like the bare bones. Step by step.
During the consultation, it's like we really try to get for me, it's really important to understand what their color palette is, what their vision is for like the vibe of the wedding. Because you also want to make sure that we are a good fit. Like I've told so many brides, I'm like, hey, like not all, like just like with photography, with any kind of vendors, not everybody's a good fit for you. And you want to find the florist, the photographer, the person that has your vision in mind, your fit in mind. And so like, there's definitely brides that I've talked to. I'm like, there might be a better florist for you because of the style that you're wanting. I mean, we can do any style if we wanted to. We just don't always like some of the styles that we do. So we really try to see if we're a good fit, and we can kind of bring their vision to life. Is kind of how we try. So in my consultations, a lot of times I'm like, are there words that you want that we can describe? Like my one bride that I just met with last night, I was like, well, what is your what if a couple words you could describe what you want your florals and your wedding day vision to be, what would you describe it? She's like, well, I really want it to be timeless, but yet I'm kind of like, I like to party. I'm like, so basically timeless party girl. She's like, yes.
Amazing.
But
girl. And it's like, and the color she chose, everything was like, it was like so literally fun. So fun. Yeah. It's like, it totally met timeless meets party girl. And so it's like, we just connected on that level and like kind of understood her vision and trying to really, and then I think a lot of times when you get a proposal from us, you'll look it over, like, did they actually get my vision? And that shows you, because there's inspiration pictures, there's all of those types of things incorporated into our proposal. And if they get the proposal, like, oh wow, like she's really missed the mark. I'm like, you might want to go somewhere else because I was missing it.
That's awesome. I love that you guys do those consultations, especially in person, because it is a big thing to trust somebody with like your flower vision for a wedding day. Mm-hmm. So that's awesome that you guys are able to do that and like really connect with people before they hire you to do their flowers. Yeah. That's awesome.
We love that. I mean, we do consultations on like over the phone and Zoom and things like that. I've done a ton of those, but we're trying to move away from them just because I do like the human interconnectedness that, in-person consultations.
Yeah. I mean, we'll do it anyway that's convenient for the couple, but it's preferred to be here and meet us. And you do get that feeling in person when you meet somebody. Like, it's kind of like when you're shopping for a venue, you're going into these spaces and you're like, oh, you might get a good feeling or a not good feeling. So
100%. I totally agree with that. That's awesome. So when it comes to like the actual work of the floral design, so after like all of the design consultations and the mock-ups and like the planning, what goes into like getting the florals ready for wedding day? Because I know that flowers are living creatures. There's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have to make sure we're ordering them and they're being delivered ahead of time so that there is time for them to kind of drink and open up. But we also have to
process them.
Yeah, process them, which so many of our employees within the foundation will do for us. And that's just making sure they have a good fresh cut, putting them in a little dipping solution to help absorb more water, keeping them in fresh water, putting those fresh water buckets in the cooler. Sometimes we have to leave certain flowers outside of the cooler if they need more time to open. So it's just kind of.
And there's certain flowers that don't go well with other flowers. Like you don't want to store them together because they'll kill the other flower. So there's a lot of different like science behind storing the flowers. But we also get a lot of flowers from farms when this farm season comes in. So right now it's the beginning of farm season. And we love flower farm season because they just make all, like you can get them from our wholesalers and you can get them from like all those places and they're beautiful and they come in pretty. But as soon as you get the farm fresh flowers, it's like we feel like kids in a candy shop.
Yeah,
all of us as that truckload comes in, we're just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. So we love, like, I mean, I've been here for 3 years. It never gets old when the farm trucks come and we're just like getting all of our flowers.
I know.
We're just like, oh my gosh, look at this gorgeous flower. So it's actually hilarious. We're just like little kids.
Yep.
But there's definitely a process with like kind of how to store them, how to process them, where to place them. You don't want certain ones you want to get earlier because they need to open up. Other ones you kind of need to kind of keep in the cooler so they don't open up too quickly. So there's like a little bit of a science behind all of that. And you kind of learn that, through the courses the training courses we've done, things like that.
That's very cool. I didn't know that certain flowers could kill each other by being in proximity. So
we just
that's
have
interesting.
Daffodils, you actually have to, you should never put them with other flowers right away because they will literally, there's a poison in them. So it's better to keep them by themselves and you have to give them a fresh cut and then put them in water and let them sit for 30 minutes before you ever introduce them to other flowers. Yeah. And then if you actually introduce them, you can't cut them again. So they better be the length you want them in the arrangement.
Oh my goodness.
Better be right.
Or 30 minutes later, you got to wait another 30 minutes.
Wow. So daffodils are temperamental.
They are. They're like the needy flowers. I'm like, who thought the daffodils would be so needy? But they're needy.
I know, they survive the cold. They're like the first ones to bloom, and they're like out there when Pennsylvania can't figure out what temperature it wants to be. And then you cut them, and then
they're poison.
Yep.
And dahlias are another one. They're like the sexy flower, but then they're so needy.
Yeah,
like the most needy flowers. So it's like there's certain flowers that you're just like, okay, you got to be really careful with how you process them, how you store them, things like that. It's just But who would have thought there's like different things like that with flowers?
Yeah.
Some are real divas.
They are. Like ladies. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that is wild.
Yeah.
So
super fun.
That's like the processing is like a whole thing. It's like there's a lot that goes into it. Is the processing of the flowers like the bulk of what your employees with intellectual disabilities help you with, or are there other things that they will pitch in on as well?
Yeah, so I mean, they help us a lot with the processing. So they love stripping. There's certain employees, just like anybody, are better at certain tasks
and prefer
certain tasks. So a lot of times, they have to strip the roses. So they've been trained how to strip the roses, how to cut them, how to get clean water, how to put them in buckets. Then we have certain employees that just love washing buckets, and we can't keep them away from the bucket.
We had him here today, and he just wants to wash buckets.
And you can't even finish the flowers without him trying to take your bucket so he can wash the buckets
he's
for
like,
you. So he's like,
this is ready. I can.
Yeah. So we definitely have different employees that like different tasks, and we try to keep them on those tasks because it's always better to put them where they want to be, and I think that's the best. And sometimes they have to like kind of suck it up and go where they don't want to go, but for the most part we try to
accommodate them. Yeah. And we do have so they're, as far as wedding and event goes, they're cleaning the buckets, they're preparing the buckets with water, they're processing all the wedding flowers, and they're kind of cleaning up some of our messes, quite frankly, like when we're busy designing. Like today, Jack actually tried to hand me the broom, and he's like, you need to clean your space. Yeah, he's like, you got it. This is unacceptable. But they also support the retail side. And so a lot of like what she was saying, there's some that just like to do certain tasks, and that's what they want to do. And we encourage them to go outside of that comfort just so they're learning and growing. But we also do accommodate, like what.
They love breaking down the box.
Breaking down boxes.
Breaking down boxes. They'll be out there dancing in the back as they're like smashing boxes. It's adorable. She'll get the videos of it and post it online.
Post it on Instagram. We do have a few employees that really do enjoy designing. And so any opportunity that we have, we allow that as well. You will, only the lucky ones come into the shop, and we'll have like prepared grab and go bouquets. Only the lucky people walk away with a special design by Yan Yan or Megan or Olivia. And it's just really cool to allow them to, experience that side of it as well, because, there's no reason in the world why they shouldn't also be allowed to explore that.
Yeah. So they do that more with the retail, not necessarily with the wedding aspect of it, just because the wedding is a little bit more precise and, so we don't
have to follow certain rules.
And so that's a little bit more that we haven't kind of crossed that bridge yet with bud vases. Sometimes we've had help us a little bit with some bud vases with cutting, but we sometimes have to.
And if we get the flowers back, if the couple donates the flowers and we come back and we break down the wedding, those, they're not designing for the wedding, but we often repurpose those flowers. So they're putting those and designing those in little vases, and we deliver those to senior homes, hospice care, and just even locally in the neighborhood, just within our community.
Yeah. So we don't the flowers that are donated back to us after a wedding. We never use them to sell again. We use them to train our employees, give them away to hospice patients, give them away to different businesses in the area, just for as a hey, thank you for all that kind of stuff. So it's really it's beautiful, and they love being able to kind of come in and repurpose all the flowers.
They do, and they love delivering flowers to people, and the coffee shop that's just right across the street. They always want to take flowers there, and it's nice to see everyone smile, and both parties are just so happy to be a part of that exchange. So yes.
That's amazing. So many wonderful things that you guys just said, but I most recently talking about donating flowers after a wedding if the couple wants it to be repurposed. That's such a cool thing that you guys are able to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing only because when we first started here, there would be so many flowers going in trash cans at the end of the night, and I'm like, they're so beautiful. There's so much life left in them, and it was I'm just there's got to be a way that we can kind of repurpose these. So we kind of all as a team started brainstorming, and this was one of the things that we had some contacts with some hospice facilities, and so we just started let's see how this works. We did a pilot. We had sometimes we'll have volunteers come in to repurpose them sometimes and rearrange them. So if the employees can't do it or we have too many flowers to do, we'll have volunteers do that sometimes as well. So so
we've donated our time doing that.
We've donated just because we're we want to, just want to see these flowers go out and not get thrown away.
Yeah. I mean, it's another excuse to be together. Just be together at the shop.
Amazing. That is so awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so awesome. I'm so happy that you guys love doing all of that so much. That's really makes a big difference. That's amazing. Yeah. So I know you guys talked about earlier, there's some floral design that you love to do and then some that you maybe don't love so much. What are some of the buzzwords that you get that you're oh my gosh, yes, I'm so excited to design for this wedding?
Ooh. Masters,
yeah, we did Dutch Masters. We recently got to. I love Dutch Masters paintings and floral designs and floral arrangements. Mm-hmm. So when a bride comes to me and wants something I love when a bride comes to me not with a floral inspiration from Pinterest, but an image, a sunset, a Dutch Masters painting,
more abstract,
something more abstract that we could because that's I think when we can get that and we have freedom to kind of take that and create something out of that. That is kind of probably our sweet spot where it's they're not, they don't have a very specific vision. They just have a specific idea.
Yeah.
And they want us to kind of take that and run with it. We recently worked with it was a tasting at one of our vendors, and they just basically gave us images, and there was no florals really in it. It was just underwater scenes. There's blues and the seaweed and just very random abstract things.
It was awesome.
And they're pretty much, can you do some tablescapes with this? And we're just heck yeah. And so as soon as we have that kind of freedom, I think our best work is actually it shines. When a bride comes and they're can baby's breath and white roses, it's it kind of yes, we can do that and we'll make it look beautiful. Yeah. But it's when we can do go a little bit outside the box a little bit more abstract. That's when we kind of really, I think, enter into spaces that we love.
Yes. Yeah. And we're always happy to accommodate the brides that want the baby's breath and the white roses. We get it. We do. People like what they like. It's not always going to be what we like. but we, like she said, we shine and we are like, just, there's so much love and creativity that gets poured into something when someone just gives us that full trust to just be like, this is kind of my, like, if you just take this image and then like translate it into florals, like that was like
the Dutch master's wedding we did a couple months ago. It was just like, we just took her ideas and completely took the space and transformed it. And it was awesome. So much fun. Yeah. And it turned out like so beautiful because we're just like, oh my gosh, we had free reign to do whatever we wanted.
Yes. I mean, we do have to work within a budget, but in that that idea of like someone just saying like, here, these are things, I often like it when a bride doesn't even know, like if they're like, I don't really know what flower, I don't know. I trust you. You're the professional. That is like music to my ears because you're like, okay, then I can, we can we're able to order better because there's more flexibility. It comes together. Easier.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. I think it's so cool that is what you guys love to base your floral design off of, more like ideas and like concepts versus like specific floral designs. And it was, as I was listening to you talk about that, I'm thinking to myself, it's the same thing for photography too. I would much rather a bride tell me like, okay, like I want our photos to feel just like us, like very candid, authentic, happy photos, versus her sending me a Pinterest board of like specific pictures that she wants, because it's so easy to just kind of want to like recreate those images instead of like copy and paste, instead of like get more creative with it. Or like another buzzword I'm thinking of is like, we just are like, we want the pictures to be wildly in love, crazy romantic. And so that I'm like filled with so much inspiration with that. Like we can go so many places versus staring at a Pinterest board that they may have curated based on those buzzwords. So it's cool how that's like a very similar thing.
Definitely. Because I feel like it's kind of, when it's a creative field, that's,
and you're artist, when you're artist, it's like you do want that like kind of freedom to be able to show your artistry in ways that, you know, comes out in your work. Whereas when you're limited to like, you know, a box or just an idea, it's like makes it a little harder to like kind of expand and kind of let that creative juices just kind of flow. Because the minute we start brainstorming, that's when things really happen.
It's bananas. I mean,
we got to reel ourselves in sometimes.
I mean, speaking on that is like, Ruth and I both, I think one of the reasons why we work so well together is because both of us are tired of seeing the same things over and over again. Like you said, this Pinterest board, this set idea. Again, we can recreate all of those beautiful things for you. And we are happy to do it. We're happy to do it if that's what makes you happy.
And we're good at it. We can do it.
But like we just love doing something that isn't always done, that isn't overdone, that isn't, we want to see something new and fresh. And we do often, dependent on the couple, we'll take that baby's breath and white roses and see if there is flexibility to make it our own. Like how flexible are you within that and within those parameters to kind of like put our spin on it and bring something new,
some life and energy into that, into those arrangements, you know? And I think that's kind of what we're always, because flowers are a living, breathing entity and they want to go their own way and do their own thing. You can't, like, it's hard to sometimes put them in these little boxes and kind of confine them. So it's like flowers want to go certain directions. They want to, you know, and so we love to be able to work with the flowers as that living thing and kind of let them kind of shine in the way they need to shine. You know?
Exactly.
And I think that's kind of what we love about the flowers. When they come in, we're just like, oh my gosh, this flower needs to be here because this is facing this direction. And, you know, it's kind of really letting the flowers kind of show us what they want to do in these arrangements. I think sometimes is a lot of fun too. So.
Yeah, they do. They kind of, they're trying to tell their own story.
Like, who cares what these means? Like, get these ladies out of here.
Oh my gosh. That's really cool though. It's so cool to me to be able to have like the freedom to work with another like living thing. You know what I mean? That like you're like kind of honoring that flower and the way that it grew specifically differently from the other flowers and still incorporating into like one big project. I think that's so cool.
Super fun. Yeah.
Question for you guys is, do you get any like frequently asked questions from couples, or is there maybe something about floral design for big events like weddings that you wish more people understood or knew?
That's a good question. Expensive.
That flowers are not cheap, and we are there. This is a kind of my feeling, is like we are, because of who we are and our mission, we are, I'm not gonna lie, we're just so generous. And so whenever a proposal is getting put together, we're really just last night, Ruth was like, can you look at this proposal? Because I really am trying to keep the cost down for this couple. I need your eyes on it. I need to kind of like, we play off of each other on like what's, like I can just be like, I don't think that's as necessary. We should focus on this. And the fact that we are so generous and competitively priced, but it's still very expensive. And we're constantly battling like what we really truly want to be able to give you with also,
within the confines of a budget that we're working with.
And also like knowing we are supporting something that is way bigger than us. And trying to honor that as well, and not just kind of, sometimes people think, it's a nonprofit. Well, like we can't just keep giving it, we can't. We do so many donations, and we do so many beautiful things within the community that, I think one thing is when people come to us, you're getting really good pricing. Flowers are just unfortunately very expensive.
Well, and like the big installations, the minute you want like big installations, people don't realize how expensive like an arch is, or a fallen garden is, or those types of things. Just like, staircase, like in any kind of installations, people are just like, oh, shocked when they find the price. I'm so careful when I'm pricing things out. I'm just like, I'm always trying to kind of, how do I make this more affordable for them? Because I really want to make this beautiful for our brides, but at the same time, flowers are expensive, and it's like, so that's always the battle. I wish people understood, like we're not over here like wanting to like make all this extra money. We're just like trying we're just trying to like have like our employees, like we want the employees to be able to like, employed. We want to be able to run the flower shop. We want to be able to have like, gorgeous weddings that we put out for our brides. But it's just, I wish people just understood that it's more expensive and it's not because we wanted to make it that way. It just is. So I think that would be something I wish people could see, and, have more of a realistic budget. I think sometimes coming to us would be helpful, like, because, you really can't do much with like $700, or $1,000. It's like, you might be able to get a few personals.
We could do beautiful things, but just, you're not going to get that big asymmetrical arch. That's all. It's just, I think it's just a matter of it's not something you think about. You think, oh, I need flowers for my wedding. Here I have this budget. But it's when you have a budget, but your expectations are
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I've talked to some florists in the past, and they have mentioned that before too. There's so much that goes into keeping flowers alive, and processing and designing and the planning and then the breakdown afterwards. Like there's, besides flowers themselves being insanely expensive to just get, then there's like a ton of work that goes into it too. And you guys have a ton of employees that need to be paid as well. So I do think that is a really good thing for couples to be aware of, that flowers just inherently are expensive. And that there's different levels of floral design for wedding days, like you were saying. Like the big installations, the floral arches, yes, they're beautiful, but they require a lot of flowers and a lot of time to put together. So there's, you can like, you can get beautiful florals, but just maybe not like grandiose designs.
Right.
And it is, unfortunately, it is an area that has more wiggle room than a lot of other areas in a wedding when you're planning it. So that's an easy way to cut, like, the photographer's what it is, the venue's what it is, the caterers are what they are. Like, it's all of those things. It's like you can't really cut back on those types. But flowers, like, oh well, we don't have to do, a $300 tablescape. We can do a $60 tablescape, or we can just DIY the tablescapes, So I think that's an area that a lot of people look at as one of the places that they can really cut back. And I feel like that's
unfortunate.
It's unfortunate. It's so sad to me, because I'm just like, because I'm like, we could make it look, and when we have the freedom to make it look the way we want to make it look, it's like phenomenal. And, but I know that doesn't always fit into everyone's budget. So we also we do a lot of courthouse weddings here, which I love, where it's like smaller, micro weddings. So we do a lot of those. And we've been seeing a rise in the micro weddings because of how expensive everything is. And those are some of our favorites to do.
They're so fun.
And it's adorable. So we'll actually we'll do just a bridal bouquet and a boutonniere for the courthouse wedding. And then they'll rent out of a restaurant, and we'll just do the tables and things like that at the restaurant. And it makes it super more affordable. And there's or a backyard wedding. We've done a bunch of those. Those are super fun. So we love the really small weddings and the really big ones.
Yes. we really do. And we put so much love and thought into either one. So just because you don't have a big budget, when you come to us, we care. We care about what we're delivering. And I feel like in some ways that is unique to our shop, because we're not just trying to churn them out like, oh, here's another one that we gotta, we really genuinely care about all of them.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I do think that if brides kind of, coming up with a realistic budget for florals, I think doing some research is really helpful, because when I don't get a budget, when I'm having a consultation, I just don't really always know what their expectations are. Is a lot to them $3,000? Is a lot to them $6,000 for flowers? Is a lot $700? I don't. If I have no range, it makes it really difficult for me to kind of stay within a budget for them, because of course we're going to try to make it look as beautiful as I can in my mind with the inspiration pictures they're sending us. So I think kind of having at least a little bit of a budget is helpful going into a consultation.
An idea.
I think a lot of brides don't have that coming to us, and that kind of leaves me in the dark, not knowing how I can help them, within within a budget that they have in their mind, if they have one. So
absolutely, that makes a lot of sense. And so that's good for any couples listening who haven't booked flowers yet to understand. Okay, we should research and kind of figure out where we're at here before before asking someone for help. Amazing. Okay, last question for you guys. I asked this question to everybody who comes on the show. And there's two of you, so feel free to give two different answers, or you can jump in on the same answer. But what is your biggest tip for couples who are planning their wedding day?
The biggest tip for couples who are planning their wedding day?
Yeah, so either a planning tip or a wedding day tip, if you have experience in that realm.
You have more experience, just because she's got 4 daughters and her second one is getting married off. So,
oh, that's a great question. Because I just feel like, my mind is going in a million different directions, because I've got so many tips. How much time do you have right now?
She overflows.
No, I think when I think of the overall picture of planning a wedding, I think that for in this planning stages, it's making sure that you are planning a wedding that's specifically for you and your spouse, the spouse to be. I just feel like you're making it uniquely your own, putting those elements. We're not in a time anymore that there's these rules that you have to follow, these rules with we have to have a certain a reception this way, we have to have a wedding ceremony this way. It's there's a lot more freedom to just kind of express yourself, and I feel like that seeing more people express themselves on their wedding day in their own unique, for instance, when my daughter got married, my first one, she got married out in Tucson, Arizona, and we did a backyard wedding at my sister's house. And we just, turned my sister's house into a complete wedding venue. There's water fountains, there's olive trees. We just went crazy with the florals because that's where I wanted to go crazy with. And that was what was important to me. And so other people, it might be the dancing or the photography or whatever it is. And it's like, really find out what you find is most important and kind of like put all your resources into that part, like, because the food, the food's going to be wonderful. And if you're a foodie, make sure that you kind of get the best, caterer that you can possibly imagine, and if you just want really good food and you want a taco truck, get a taco truck and then put all your money into your photographer.
That would be amazing. Love a taco truck.
That sounds awesome.
Creating being a little bit more relaxed and free spirited with kind of what's important, like kind of really knowing what's important, I think. Is one of the things I think is kind of focusing on that, focusing on that.
Yeah.
But I need to think about the wedding day itself, though. Maybe you have an idea why I'm thinking.
I mean, a wedding day coordinator or somebody that you can be your go-to person to do certain things and make sure certain things are happening for you, whether it's with the florals or with something else. I think that is really helpful, that one person, and it could be a hired coordinator. It could be a really good family member, someone that you just can say, make sure this happens. And so that you can just relax and enjoy yourself. I think that day of would be the most helpful.
Yeah, I would actually agree. I think that you having someone kind of write down everything, know the timelines, know what needs to be moved from different spaces and locations, I think is I've seen too many things slip, like candles not getting lit at a reception. And you're just like, you bought all these candles and now they're not even lit, So I think, just having somebody that's on top of all those really special little moments that you don't want to have brushed over. I think that would be one of the most important things. And having a photographer that can actually capture these moments.
Yes.
Because we've had too many bad photographers come in and take beautiful pictures of and we missing our flowers.
I know.
And it's been so sad. I'm like, oh my gosh, your one job is to make sure the flowers look beautiful with the bride. And it's like missing that sometimes is so sad to me. And we've had so many wonderful photographers too. So
my God. Well, I mean, it's one of those
like that.
things.
I'm just like,
no, the photographer is very important.
Yeah.
I mean, it is.
That's
the forever.
That's what captures the moment of everything, all the details that are being planned. And if you don't have a good photographer that can capture those details, then it's like, you remember them, but you don't remember them in a forever way. Whereas So that's, I always actually tell my brides, get the best wedding photographer you can possibly get and spend more money on them because they capture that the day, you will never have anybody else capture it. I had a terrible wedding photographer. I love my person. I loved her, but it was like, they didn't capture the wedding flowers the way that I needed them, the wedding, the way they needed to be captured. And it was so sad. Cause I look back, I'm like, I want to have better pictures right now. I want to redo my pictures.
That's really sad. I loved my wedding photographer.
Did you?
Yeah. Very
That's
candid,
awesome.
Journalistic.
Oh, see, I would have liked that.
Yeah. I like that.
So.
Dang. All fantastic pieces of advice. Lovely tips. So much wisdom coming from you two. And I agree with literally everything. Making your wedding your own and prioritizing certain parts of the day that are very special to you two specifically. And then having a coordinator or a planner or somebody to help run the day. That I think is something that couples may not think about until it's too late, until it's the wedding day. And they realize, oh my gosh, we put this day together, but we're supposed to be experiencing it, not running it.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It really makes such a big difference to be able to not think about what things need to happen or, what details need to be included and just enjoy it all and create those memories. And then, I'm a photographer, so I'm super biased, but I do think that having wonderful photos to capture your wedding day makes all the difference in the world. You get to show that to all of your family and friends, kids, grandkids down the line, and just each other, really. Because memories do fade over time. And so having imagery, to spark those memories. And when you are feeling great on your wedding day, you're going to have happy memories when you look at your wedding pictures as well.
Exactly.
So it all ties in together.
It does. It really does. And I mean, and that's I think that's amazing. I mean, your job is incredibly important. What you're doing, capturing these days because it's like that. And we're always designing our flowers knowing that these images are going to be captured by the photographer. So we're always like, okay, does this look good on a camera?
Yeah.
And so we're taking pictures of our own stuff just to make sure that it actually looks like that and looks beautiful.
Yeah.
So it's like there is like this beautiful marriage between all of the vendors that are taking place that I think people sometimes don't realize how much they all work together. So
yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
a wedding day really is like, it is vendors coming together and working together on behalf of the couple who's getting married.
Yes,
exactly.
I always say, like, I think there needs to be some sort of like TV show about like wedding vendors, because
oh my gosh, yeah,
we will be on that with you. We will be on. You start it, we'll join.
Yes,
it's so fun because we all have different jobs, but we all have like this shared purpose of making a wedding day the best it can be for the couple who's getting married, because we all love so much, and it's I just think it's so cool.
Oh, and there's so much stuff you troubleshoot on that wedding day, like rain issues, like all this kind of
all of the drama,
falling off the fireplace. Like there's so many issues that you're always kind of like, and so that would be
how
really
do you
fun
pivot?
for a reality TV show.
It would be great.
We would be good. We would be good.
We should start something.
Yes, yeah. There's always something that quote unquote goes wrong. It's never like actually wrong, but things behind the scenes are always needing to be fixed very quickly and very like well too. So maybe we'll be on that show together.
Yeah.
Hey, keep us posted.
We'll be there.
Keep us posted.
I will. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you guys so much for being on the show. It was so awesome talking to you about Kati Mac Floral's wedding design, all the things. It was awesome getting to know you too.
We can't thank you. Thank you so much for inviting us onto the show. We really enjoyed talking with you and getting to know you too. So thank you.
Yes, and hope to work together again soon.
Definitely. We would love it. We'll definitely recommend you more now.
Same to you guys.